Hello, women of the world. Welcome to Her Vision, Her Empire, where we celebrate the strength, ambition, and dreams of women like you who are forging their own paths in the world of entrepreneurship. Remember, it's time to build your empire, one vision at a time. Hello, women of the world, and welcome back for another episode of Her Vision, Her Empire. Today we have a special guest with us today. Her name is Lynn Power. How are you doing today, Lynn?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Can you please introduce yourself and what you like to do?
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Lynn. As you mentioned, I am a beauty entrepreneur. I have a clean hair care brand called Mossamy, and I'm also the founder of the Conscious Beauty Collective, which is a group of 30 plus indie beauty and wellness brands. We currently have a store in downtown Palm Springs, and I'm sitting here in our store today, and it's a little uncharacteristically chilly.
Oh,
And so I got my jacket on.
yeah.
But anyway, it's all good.
Yeah. Has it been pretty cold there lately?
No. Palm
Oh.
Springs is the desert.
Mm.
So yeah, so we're used to getting extreme heat.
Oh,
Um
gotcha.
it does get a little, it does get more reasonable during the winter months. Hence, we get a lot of the snowbirds that come down here, but it still is usually in the 70s, sometimes even 80s. Today it just is a little on the chilly side. But anyway, no worries.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm excited to learn more about your business. Can you could you tell us a little bit more about it, like how you started, um, what you were doing before, what led into it,
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Sure thing. So I spent 30 years in the marketing and advertising world. I was actually running ad agencies before I decided to leave. And I just wasn't really enjoying that so much anymore. It had become pretty bureaucratic
Mm,
and not really fulfilling for me creatively. So
yeah.
I left in 2018. I met my co-founder James left shortly thereafter, and we decided to launch Mossme together. He'd been working on our formulas for about 10 years. It's quite difficult to make super high quality salon formulas that are clean.
Mm,
But
yeah.
he did it. And so we launched at New York Fashion Week in February 2020, a
Wow,
month,
that's
month
great.
before COVID lockdown in New York City. And
Yeah.
then from there, yeah. And then I got breast cancer in 2021. So
Oh
I had a full
no.
year. Yeah, I had a full year of treatment and dealing with that. So there was about 9 months where I was a bald hair care founder.
Mm,
Um, and then coming out of that, I that's when I launched the Conscious Beauty Collective, because it's really a great way for brands to help each other grow in terms of partnering with other like-minded brands. So that
yeah.
has been fantastic. Yeah.
With your business, you were saying that you launched New York Fashion Week, right? And that was
Yep.
in what year? Sorry, I forgot. Was that
2020.
2020?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was like a month before New York was pretty much locked down because of COVID.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was interesting for sure.
Oh yeah. Um, did that have a big effect on your opening and everything?
Um, it definitely had a big effect on our business plan, because we had been planning on, getting into salons as a primary channel for us, and salons were,
Oh yeah.
closed for most of the year, and then on and off, and
Mm-hmm.
some were struggling and still struggling. So it's that part of it had to really be rethought. But we are a direct to consumer brand at heart, meaning we have our own e-com site. We're also on Amazon. So like there are lots of other ways you can grow and focus. And then the brand partnerships, which I mentioned earlier as part of the Conscious Beauty Collective, those have been phenomenal in terms of just helping us grow our business organically, grow our
Mm-hmm.
email list, find new customers, grow our social following. So I do recommend to anyone who's bootstrapped like we are. We don't have any investors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it finding like-minded partners and brands is really helpful in any industry, by the way. It's not just beauty. I mean, you could be a B2B business and find the right partners, and it can really help you maximize your spend, whatever marketing spend you're doing, and get awareness and reach and find new people and lots of things. So it's a really good tactic.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's great advice. Thank you. Um, do you like you were saying that you use Amazon and stuff like that. Do you have any social media for your business or anything that people could go and find it?
Yeah, we're very heavy on social media. So you can find us at Love Masami Hair is our handle pretty much everywhere. So
Okay.
we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, Threads, YouTube,
Wow.
LinkedIn. I'm missing something, I'm sure, but you get the idea.
Yeah, basically everything.
Yeah, basically everything. I think it's challenging as a small business because you don't want to feel so stretched, but at the same time, the platforms are different.
Mhm.
You kind of have to be where people are, and if that's where they are, then you got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, and you reach different groups of people on different platforms for
Exactly.
sure. So, yeah. Um, is there one that you particularly prefer?
I'm not a big Facebook fan,
Mm,
and I find like advertising on Facebook is really challenging to get a
yeah.
good ROI that's under even $100 customer acquisition costs. So that's crazy. But I mean, I on a personal level, I use probably Instagram the most. Oh, we forgot Twitter or X, I should say.
Mm,
That's one that we're on as well. But I actually do really like for business. I really like Pinterest as a way to get awareness and drive traffic to my site. It's
okay.
not a great conversion tool, but it's really good to get people who might be searching or interested in finding, a clean hair care product or something
Yeah.
for curls or whatever. So that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a channel, especially for beauty businesses, that is quite effective.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I search stuff on there all the time and definitely find good things and websites. So, what are your business goals? Your short term,
So
long term goals?
yeah, I mean, I'm very pragmatic about it. You can easily fall into the trap of hearing VCs talk about how, you should be 10xing your business and all that. But the reality is, if you are bootstrapped and you don't have VC money, you have to just kind of grow slow and steady. And I think in
Yeah.
many cases, slow and steady wins the race. So my goals are just to continue to get momentum and to grow and to spread the word of clean, botanically hydrating hair care. So you don't need to use sulfates, you don't need parabens, you don't need phthalates. You can get really high performing products
Yeah.
without any of the toxic ingredients.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely need to look at your stuff because I don't want that stuff in my hair products. So,
I know, and people don't realize that about 90% of mainstream products have toxic ingredients in them. So
hmm,
once you start looking at the ingredient labels and start doing your own research, you realize how much of the beauty industry really is toxic still, and it's shocking.
yeah,
So, yeah, we have a lot of work to do, I think, in the US, especially to clean up our act.
yeah. Well, you're one step ahead. You're getting the word out there and helping people, so that's great. Um, let's see. What sets you apart from your competitors, if there are any, in your niche or your industry?
Yeah, definitely very, very competitive business. So beauty is super saturated, very, very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we solve the number one hair issue, which is hydration. But what sets
Okay.
us apart is that we do it weightlessly. Most other products on the market will weigh your hair down and make it look greasy. Other hydrating products on the market, I should say.
Okay.
Um, and we use a Japanese ocean botanical, a seaweed that allows us to give you the hydration, but not the weight. So it's definitely unique. And we work for
Yeah.
virtually every hair type and texture too.
Wow, that's amazing. There's a lot.
Yeah.
That's great. Holy cow. Um, can you share a recent success story with us about your business?
I mean, what I love is when people use my products and they really feel like it's transformed their hair. To me, that's the biggest measure of success, even if
Yeah.
it's just one person at a time. So when, I get customer feedback and they're literally like, "Oh my God, my hair is completely changed. It's like saved. I love my hair now. I used to hate my hair." Those are the things that make me
Yeah.
feel like we're doing the right thing and we're on the right track. So keep them coming. Those kinds of
Yeah.
endorsements make me really happy. Yeah, I mean, we're still teeny tiny,
Yeah.
but we have really high loyalty and repeat purchase. It's like 3 times
Oh, that's
industry average.
awesome.
Yeah, so I do feel like people do try our products, really tend to love them, and then, really get hooked, which is great. So, we're also all about sustainability. So even though it's a little bit of a conundrum, even though there's so many toxic products on the market, at the same time, I don't want people just throwing out full bottles of unused product,
Yeah.
um, because that's not sustainable. So, yeah, it is a little bit of get through your bad products and then start switching over one by one, go through your routine and start switching over to cleaner products. And that usually works for people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we did. We started doing that too with like hand soaps and, it's different, just different things. Once we ran out of it, then we switched over to something a little cleaner, a little better. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
I think we have time for one more question, if
Okay,
that's okay with you.
sure.
What is a piece of advice that you would share with someone just starting out becoming an entrepreneur or that is on the fence about it?
So many things. Well, first of all, you don't have to just quit your current job and become an entrepreneur. You can do a lot of stuff on the side to prepare yourself. One of those things is make sure you have a good idea and market fit and do some research. Another thing is build a network. That's so important and it will help you as you launch your business, as you grow your business. And the network shouldn't just be people in your industry. Find people that are doing cool things adjacent to your industry. Find people that have complementary skill sets, who are solving problems differently. And those I find are some of the most useful connections you can have. So
Oh, yeah.
that's something you can start right now.
Yeah, for sure. You just find something you're passionate about and then go for it.
Exactly. Don't wait because life is short. And I know way too many people who are very unhappy in their current jobs, but they just don't want to take the leap. But you can set
Yeah.
yourself up for success by, like I said, doing a little bit of homework, making sure that you have a valid, product and demand for that product, and then creating a business network to support yourself because it's really hard being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely you can start that path now.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just hit kind of that wall, that roadblock of what ifs, I think, where people are just trying to figure out, like, should I do it? What if I did? What if I don't? Lots of questions to themselves. But what would you say would help them get over that roadblock?
I mean, I think be realistic about what it takes because so many entrepreneurs I meet are not realistic and they go into it and they launch something and then they realize they don't have enough money, they don't have the right resources,
Mm,
they don't have
yeah.
the right capabilities. So I think if you do it with your eyes wide open, so you don't get surprised at the first thing that happens, because things will happen out of your control, it makes it a
Hmm.
little bit easier. But if you're sort of on the fence, I mean, the best thing you can do is talk to people who've done it before, really understand what to expect.
Yeah.
Give yourself a plan. It doesn't have to all happen overnight. It can happen over the course of a year or 2 years or 5 years, but as long as you have a plan, that's half the battle. You got to
Oh,
start
yeah.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being on my podcast. I really appreciate everything that you said and the advice you've given. And I'm excited to look into your business a little more. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Sadie.
You've just listened to an episode of Her Vision, Her Empire. We upload a video every single week, so don't forget to hit subscribe or follow to not miss out on future content. If you'd like to support our podcast, we would absolutely love it if you left a review or shared it with someone you know that would benefit from this content. Links to our socials are found below in the show notes, and thanks again for listening. Until next time.